Hello everyone, this is Shivam Agarwal, and in this video we are going to code the class. We'll look at the class definitions, variables inside the class, the init function and the self parameter. So I'm expecting a basic knowledge of Python coding because we'll start with creating the class itself. So let's start the video. So the creating class is very easy. You just have to type the keyword class. It is required to create the class, and after that you have to specify the name of the class, what name your class is going to have. So let us say simply my class is called my class. Okay, and as this is a keyword and this is your user defined word, this is going to be a class. How will we define the variables and data inside the class? Put a colon and then press enter. It will create a class with an indent. I'm using PyCharm IDE for this. You can use Spider IDE or Anaconda with your ease. I would not recommend using IDLE for this because here you will have to code a lot of statements in a while. So IDLE would not be preferred. I'm using PyCharm for this. So you have created the class with the keyword class and your class name, that is my class. And now we will define the data inside the class. Suppose we will just use to get a variable called as x and give a value 5 to it. That will create an variable x with a value 5. Let's get out of the class. So this is a class with a variable x equal to 5. How will we access any data variable inside the class is a matter of further coming videos. We'll describe how we can create objects to access the members of the class. But for now, if we want to check whether our class is successfully created or not, you can just write the print command and print your whole class. Now I have printed this my class complete. What will be the output? Can you guess? Just try to run it. We'll try to run it and we can get the output as class main.myClass. This shows that our class is successfully created, but this doesn't prove anything else than proving that we have created the class. What if we have to access this x variable? There are two methods. We can use this my class also, the name, or we can create an object. We'll try to create an object in the coming videos. For now, just what you have to do, using a dot operator. I will use the dot operator and place the variable after it. So name of your class followed by dot operator and the data member, that is the x. If we try to print this, what we'll get is five. Okay, so now that we have printed x, that is a member of the class, using the class name, so we are getting the value 5. If we change the value here and try to run it once again, we'll get the new value. It's showing me a warning because this is not the preferred method of using the data members. Next, we'll try to you have already looked at defining a class. Okay, you have already looked at how to create variables. You can create multiple variables as well. Let me show you how. Y is equals to 7 and z equals x into y. Okay, so now if you will try to print y here, what will happen? 7, but that is the value of y. If you want to get z, run this and you get 42. That is 6 times 7 is 42. So you can play with variables in classes very easily. It's not a big thing. We'll move to the init function. It is a very important function in the class. I'll just remove all of this. Using the same class, I'll write the init function. So first understand what is an init function. So init function is a predefined function that is always executed with the class. Okay, it is basically used to assign values to a variable. We were doing x equals to 6. What we are doing, we are assigning the value to the variable. What if we don't know that we have to assign 6 to x itself? We might want to get some values from the user and assign it to x. We'll do it by the use of init function. Okay, so init function is basically used to assign values to the variables. let us define the init function. Normal definition of function starts with def, that is a keyword. Then init function starts with double underscore. Init, it is already showing me, but I'll write it, followed by double underscore. Okay, and we have to supply some parameters. First parameter automatically is self. We'll study about self in the next section. So self is the first parameter. And what if we have to assign some values? We can use some more values like a and b. Okay, so let us say I'm going with name value. Okay, so this is a parameter that I've defined. What comes inside init is, for example, this self keyword is used to assign the values. We'll study more about self in the coming session. Just I want to create the init function for you. The self dot name becomes name. Now, what is this name? I have to assign a value, so I have to create a variable first of all. So let us create a name variable and assign it value abc. Okay, so we have a name variable inside our class which is abc. We want to assign a new value to this variable using init function. Okay, first parameter is self, second parameter is this is name, which we have extracted from the user. Now this name and this name are same. You can see the name supplied in the arguments and which is used to assign are the same, while the name variable that we had in the class itself is written here self.name. Okay, so don't get confused. So you might have already guessed the use of self. It is used to access the members of the class itself, but here we are initiating the value of name with a name from the user. How we will get the name from the user, it's a matter of object that we'll discuss in the coming videos. For now, if you want, I can show you by just manipulating some code. Okay, so to get this name, what I will do is create an object. We'll learn how to create an object in the coming videos. For now, I'll just show you that this is working. So let me just tell and say this is the parameter that is supplied here, name. So init function is always executed with the class. So whenever there is an object creation, this parameter will be supplied automatically here. Okay. Now we have already learned how to print the variables. So we'll just say print this time the object name dot name. Right. Let us try to execute and see what happens. It's giving us XYZ, but we had named name as ABC. Why is it sending us XYZ when we are trying to execute the program? It's because of this init function. When this P1 object is created, this XYZ is supplied into this in the init function. Now this self is used to access the number that is already present in the class. So self.name accesses the element that is already in the class, this is name, and assigns this name value to the variable. Now the variable name has been changed to XYZ. So then when we try to print name, it gives us XYZ. We'll try to learn how to create this object in the coming video also. Now that you have learned to define a class, create variables using the init function and the use of self, I want to tell you about something more about this self. It is not compulsory that you name it self self. You can name it anything else, but it has to come before anything else. It has to be the first parameter in the function. It can be named anything that you want. The standard notation is self, so we use self only, but you can name it according to you. It has to be the first parameter. Okay, so that is everything about this video, definition, variable, init and self. Hope you liked it. Thank you.